Hey YouTube, just coming to you from a local hotspot here. Kind of getting back to the grind tomorrow officially, so I just wanted. I'm trying to kind of get more YouTube videos out as sort of a form of self-therapy. Therapy's kind of hard for me to afford right now. My insurance has come in, but my financial situation just doesn't even really allow the paying of co-pays right at the moment. So that's sort of where I am. All that being said, I wanted to kind of do a video today about why your significant other is with you. Okay, and I'm going to speak about this from a male with female perspective, because that's what I know. Now, as I've said in a couple of my other previous videos, agreements with your spouse seem to work differently than other agreements. I don't know what that is, why that is, but in my experience in life and with dealing with my various SOs over that lifetime, I would say that you, especially early on in a relationship, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, and they should do that too. It should work both ways. You're really trying to get a bearing on each other, okay, to test compatibility. So what kind of happens, I think, is that I don't know. Maybe the other person kind of realizes that they might be able to set you on a path that they want if you kind of kept to a certain task or goal or something like that. There might be various motivations for, and I think men are just as guilty of that in a lot of ways as women are. Maybe not in the same way, but I assume that there are a lot of guys who might appear to be, for example, a little harder working and more into their job than they really are, because that would be wise, right? No one really likes working. I mean, some people like working, but I mean, no one really likes doing what someone else is telling them to do all day. It's a given that you're not always going to like your job, but she doesn't need to hear about it, and she's never going to want to hear about it, is really what it comes down to. And ladies, it's hard for me to look at it the other way, but I would assume that it would be weird to be in a. Men just view these things differently. We're pretty happy these days if you girls are kind of working and just helping at home a bit. If you're willing to do what we're willing to do, that's great. Because this idea that people can always have their cake and eat it too is very illusionatory. And that kind of control over your own life is very illusionatory as well. There are too many factors in your life as just a single person with a job that control it. If you're a single person and you have a house, a car, potentially pets, and a job, I guarantee that you have less control over your life than you want, just with those four things. Those four things are like, a lot of people call them prisons, and in many ways they are, okay? But I guess what it comes down to is you have to go through a certain amount of prisons in your life to find freedom in what you do, to find some type of thing you can just do, you know? And I guess what I'm really saying here is, guys, she is not with you. She is not with you to be in dire straits, okay? Now, if you were, and you have to ignore everything that happened at the beginning of your relationship. She may have said she was cool living the way that you were living then. She might have said that, you know, she didn't think she'd ever have a problem with it or whatever. But people change. Times change. You know, things move forward, and you're not always the same person the next year that you were the last. And marriage changes a lot of things. So if she agreed to those things pre-marriage, then you can't you can't guarantee that she's still going to feel that way a year or two down the line. She wants to see progress as a couple, and that progress needs to be to a point of comfort that she is comfortable with. Okay? You have nothing to do with it. If she's not comfortable, she's not going to be happy, and if she's not happy, ultimately she's not going to be with you in the long term. Okay? Ladies, your guy is not with you to be a servant unless he has said that's what he's into, okay? He is not with you to be a servant. He is not with you to be a cuck. He is not with you to, you know, carry out your every wish and need, and he is not, he's not a way for you to do any less than he's doing, okay? What a man wants. And I'm gonna give you some gold right here, and I think that this would be a really easy thing to figure out about most guys. But what most guys really want is some help when it's necessary, without any type of complaining or you know, but this or but that. Okay, help me make dinner, help me clean the house. With, you know, household and pet related or child related tasks, those things need to be shared. There's more to that than employment, you know. Those things are kind of, you know, important things to a relationship. All right. But he is not there to do every little thing for you. And I've met a few females who seem to have it in their head that as soon as, especially once they're married, they just, you know, kind of become what you would perceive as a different individual. But most of us are always becoming different individuals. It's just that when I hit 38 or so, I started getting pretty comfortable with myself. Now I realize there are still changes I need to make about myself, and I'm trying my best to do those. I may have mentioned it on my channel before, but I have a really, really big problem with sugar. If I have an addiction thing, it's probably sugar. And secondarily, food. If I'm trying to fix my problems, I generally turn to sugar and food, and stuff. But it's just, I don't think that I just don't think that enough couples are on the same page. One, and I don't think that enough couples realize that continual growth means that you're continually having to adapt to each other. And if you can't do that anymore, you get divorced or you separate. Okay, and if you can continue to do that, then you have what most people would probably consider a successful marriage, and you deserve congratulations on that. But just want to reiterate, your man is not there to be a servant, and guys, regardless of what she said, you need to keep your wife comfortable, in a manner that she is not ever complaining about it. Okay. So if you say, so as an example, if you say started your relationship in a tiny house and she was like, oh yeah, that's great, this is neat, I could totally do with this, and 2 years later, you've gotten married and now she's like complaining about the lack of space and everything like that, that means that you need to move. You need to do something else. Okay, it's no longer satisfying to her, regardless of whether it's satisfying to you or not. And it's not just about you anymore. Guys will be comfortable living in a very minimalist situation, and we usually can get along just fine with that. I have found most females don't like that. So like if you're that type of dude, you're gonna have trouble making that work with a female anyway, I think. I certainly have. But just, she's not with you to be in dire straits, and you're not with her to be some type of cucked out servant, okay? And you at some point might have to make that clear to each other. But you'd be surprised how often that kind of goes nowhere, too. But the point is, I guess the safest way to say it is anything you guys occupy together, you need to be in together. So home and stuff like that. Okay, you keep your work garbage to yourself. She doesn't care about it, and he'll listen to you, but I mean, I don't know that that he really cares about it anymore either. We're both in the same situation there. I think you should be able to vent to your spouse and talk to them and everything like that. But I guess that's just not always the case. You really have to. I'd say 3 or 4 girlfriends ago, I had a girlfriend who literally told me, like, dude, I don't care about your problems, okay? I want to get screwed. I want to go out and have a good time with you. And, like, you being in here, blubber and mess in the shower and stuff is just, she was done with me pretty soon after that. So just if you think that a woman really likes a sensitive man and shit, that is horseshit. That's horseshit. That is not true. Women don't like sensitive guys. I've never personally been with a woman who really liked being with a sensitive guy, personally. Women like strong, masculine men, and we kind of like women who seemingly need us, right? But it's really a terrible situation to get in these days, because that's not a good reason to, it almost doesn't work anymore in some ways. Here I've gone and talked too long again. I could have stopped this a couple minutes ago, but anyway, I hope that was useful in some ways, guys. Have a good one. Going on running out.